everybody, we're fixing to make, oh, is that on there permanent? Yeah, it's a little speck in there. We're fixing to make this black African soap, and we gotta burn stuff. I know. We're gonna burn stuff right here in the kitchen at the Cornerstone Market. So let's start burning the stuff that's going in this soap. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, everybody, we've got plantain leaves, and we've got plantains here, and then we have got these, and cocoa nibs, which is a seed that is in the cocoa pod. And this made me think of it very, very much. You know, the whole point of black African soap, I think, is the burning of natural materials and putting the ash in the soap. And so I thought it was good to have something like this. As you can see, it has very similar texture. It's soft. It makes me think, and many of the cocoa nibs, I have not figured out what it is yet. I went to the local Mexican grocery store, and these were in there. And so I'm sort of just breaking them up. And everything, so that the heat can penetrate better, because the whole point of this, I think, is the burning of natural materials that are tropical in nature, because that's what they use in and plantains, plantain leaves, palm leaves, things of that sort. So as each culture in Africa, I think Uganda is one of the main areas where they make this black African soap. They pick materials from where the region in which they were in, what's accessible, and they use those. So let's see if Kimberly can do worth 2 cents at drying and ashing these materials. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm putting them in the oven. I've got it on broil, and I've got it set on the oven temperature of broil. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this. Okay, I've got the plantains in there now, and get you closer. Okay, and we're definitely getting a burn going here, but we need to revolve them around a lot, I think, during this. So now I'm going to put those back in. Alright, so anyway, so now we've got these plantain leaves, and I thought probably trim the end off would probably be a good idea. And then looks like this one right here, it looks like it's had some damage, so I think I'll remove this section, and that looks like they all look about the same now. So, and I got these in my local Mexican grocery store, and you may have an ethnic food grocery store in your area that might have some type of palm leaf or plantain leaf. And just gonna keep cutting these up. And I'm cutting them so that I can toss them in this bowl to burn them. So I'm going to keep doing this. Okay, I can definitely smell some things brewing over here. Yep, definitely burning well. Let's see. Let me get you up here where you can see a little bit better. So these are, the moisture's coming out of these, so I'm drying them at first and then we'll burn them. But right now we're drying those. These were already dried on the outside, but the inside was still soft to some degree. So I'm just going to keep repeating this process every few minutes. Like just every few minutes the smell starts coming up, I can tell I need to rotate. Season. All right, guys, we got smoke going. Smoke is going. Here's our plantains. I'm hoping y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just turning these around. They're moist. Of course, in Africa, they put these things out in the sun for a few weeks, and then they burn them. We'll see how this American way goes. We'll see. This is our recipe anyway. We'll try it. Okay, that's what it looks like. Burning, burning, burning. Keep them doggies burning. Roll hide. And so, let's get this stuff out here. I just took it out regularly and stirred it. And this stuff here has pretty much turned to ash. And so I'm going to grind this up pretty soon here. This might still have a little bit more burning it needs to do, but this right here is pretty ashy. And we want to make sure we don't have any moisture in it left, and I still have a little bit that seems like it has some moisture into it. And so, and then the plantains, which was wet, there's still some water in a lot of it, but a lot of it is already gone to ash. So we will go ahead and put that back in there. And these here, oh, I have to get that up here where you can see it. Oh, you can. These here were wet, of course, because I felt the need to clean them. When I got them, I just wasn't sure what kind of pesticides or whatnot might have been used on them. I didn't have the option to buy organic, so I felt like they needed to be cleaned. So I cleaned them real good. And they are still damp. And I'm going to, you can see where I put these. See how they dry out real easy, but they've not got to the burnt stage, of course, and they're still wet. But they will all fit in there together. And they're so close to being done that those are, but I thought I'd just let those finish. And I've got them on broil, high broil. We're burning them suckers. Okay, guys. We have got 2 crops going with the black African soap, and I wanted to give you the recipe that I created. They do 100% palm and coconut oil, or palm kernel oil and coconut oil, and I have tried to put just coconut oil into a crock pot in a recipe making liquid soap, and it turned to a hard rock. And out of fear of it turning to a hard rock, I don't know if you ever want to see, look at my making liquid soap recipe video. I'm telling you, I totally sucked at that. And it made this big hard rock in the bottom of the crock pot. So what I decided to do was use coconut oil and palm oil. I don't have palm kernel, and we're using Essential Depot's coconut oil and palm oil, and they only buy from places where they're not destroying the rainforest. And so they're, oh, I forget what they call that, when they're taking care of the forest and they're not abusing nature and not harming the gorillas or monkeys or whatever. So anyway, so they got that safe palm oil, and we're using soybean oil, and then we're using cocoa butter and shea butter. Is the glycerin and vitamin E already in here? And glycerin and vitamin E. And what we're doing is and I'm going to put this on KimberlyMacNutt.com, but what we're doing is we're doing 35 ounces of coconut oil, 35 ounces of palm oil, 10 ounces of soybean oil, and then we're doing 6 ounces of cocoa butter and 9 ounces of shea butter. And it's very true, in many parts of Africa, they cannot afford the cocoa butter and the shea butter, and this is not in there. But traditionally, it was used and is used in many places, and I know that this would make a lot better soap with shea butter and cocoa butter. So I did do some mild research on that, and many people said that they just can't afford the shea butter and the cocoa butter anymore, and so they just use the coconut oil and the palm kernel oil. And the palm kernel oil is because the coconut oil is more expensive, and palm kernel oil is a replacement for coconut oil. And the main point to this recipe is to be extremely high in lather, in bubbles. And so we want to make sure that we're good and bubbly. Cleansing and bubbly was very important, and then the moisturizing factor. So extremely bubbly, extremely cleansing, very, very soothing. And so we're looking at a 57 on the hardness, cleansing 25, conditioning 38, bubbly 25, creamy 32, and this is with the super fats calculated, which I don't normally do, and I'll have to go over there, and it's to some degree it's not quite right because they're figuring part of that cocoa butter and shea butter being turned into soap salts, or soap, but I'm going to put the cocoa butter and the shea butter 100% in there at the end after the saponification process, so it will not be saponified. So that's a little different. I'm going to turn this one off, take the lid for it to cool. I'm also doing Grandma's old-fashioned lard soap over there. This one here, though, has not finished melting yet, so we'll bring you back. And boy, don't that look awesome? Woohoo! This is 16% super fatted. And we're doing goat's milk. I forgot to tell you. We're doing goat's milk black African soap. Okay, we'll see how we come out. I think I've burnt them successfully. So see if my grinder agrees and doesn't gum up, or doesn't gum up too bad. We need to hit the reset button on this little booger. There we go. Ooh, that made it mad. Oh, this is turning into a really nice powder. I'm gonna rotate it around a little bit. It makes me think of coffee. Woo! It's a very hot, ashy powder now. So, I think we got that pretty much ground. So, I need a container to pour that in. I'll get it. Okay. So, here is the ground powder ready for the soap. Let's go work on the other stuff. Okay, I believe that all the moisture is now out of these and they are fully ash and hot. And so I'm gonna try to get them. I broke them up and got them down in there good. it's sort of got stuck around the sides. It's not like stuck like moisture, just stuck like it got packed in. Okay, and we've ended up with these fibers that are not grinding. You can see them in there. So I'm going to have to filter these somehow. So I'll get those in another bowl and work about, because these are just not grinding. It's some kind of fiber in the plant, I mean in the peeling. So we'll have to filter those out. Okay, so and that seems to be straining out these fibers that just would not grind. Although one seemed to have escaped there. And then just a couple of them got through. I'm going to put this back in here with just that little bit and see if we can get it the rest of the way ground now. It's fighting me tooth and nail. And then a lot had gotten up in the lid. There it is. This thing only lock up one way. They still won't grind. That is amazing. Look at there. They will just not grind. They're just laying in there. But we'll go ahead and see if we can get the rest of the powder itself out of it. Oh yeah. Is it on fire?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Is smoking good?
Yeah.
Meg was just having a fit. She says, oh God, she's going to set it on fire. I told her, I said, watch it while I'm videoing. Don't let it catch on fire. She's going, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Well, I'll be right there though, Meggers. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to let these larger grains not be put in there. And just a few of these fibers sort of got in, but not much. So now we have a combination of the plantains and those other things. And I'm finding a few pieces of things in here that didn't get, so it looks like I'll have to go let all of this go through a strainer because I just got a few pieces there of some things that you could feel, and it said you didn't want anything like that going on. So, oh. How's it looking, Meggers? So that's what we'll do. We'll let all of it go through a strainer to make sure we don't get any large pieces. Because I'm feeling a few. It's like some kind of hard seed, I think. So I'll keep working on this, but I got to go check on that stuff over there. Okay, so that's what we ended up with. We ended up with stuff that didn't get ground, that we need to make sure didn't get put in the soap. And so we sifted all of that out. And now we've got fun black soap powder, and we still got to go and finish up the leaves. So let me take you over there. Okay, so here goes, and it is burning. Whoop! It's burning quite nicely now. I got the plantains in there cooking too. I said I want to see what happened with those. We'll get those out and turn those in a minute. And as you can see, this is going down to nothing now, and it's burning. We've still got lots of greens still in here, but as you can see, by smashing it down, that lets the green, what's still not been dried out good, float up to the top. And so, let's see what happens with this. So anyway, so I'm cooking the plantains and letting them burn, and just to see what they would do. Because they look like they would be very moisturizing. We'll see. Oh, it looks like I ain't going to get those in first, so we'll let those burn for a while first. Then I'll put them back in there. Okay, guys. It appears to me that we have pretty much, it's all the water's gone. We still have a few that are green that we got to, got to lay out. Put those back in there and we'll see what happens. Hey Meggers, if you would take a rag to that right there before that brown sticks, after I get away from here, that would be awesome. Okay, these look pretty much burnt. I mean, I can definitely see some areas that are not burnt, and so but I think it's all well and good to go ahead and grind. So we'll get started on that next. See, you can see a few pieces that are still like that one there will just kick out. And I think I'll just pick out the ones that feel a little bit soft. and are not burnt good, I'll just kick those out because I have more than enough here. And we'll grind up the rest. I decided to burn it a little bit more. I just took my hands and like smooshed it down, and because we really need ash. I mean, what they want in that soap is ashes. So I took out what was green, and we have the dried, very dried, now burning over there. And it's definitely burning now. Yeah, definitely turning to ash now. A few more seconds and we'll grind now. Okay, I did this the same way. Put those in there. Quite a bit of it got up in the leaf. And plantain leaves, they ground very easily. And they almost caught on fire, didn't they? Yes. I mean, I just barely got them out in time. There was two places where the fire was already starting. And I just barely got them out. And it did say in the instructions, burn plantain skins and other tropical materials. So I was just following directions, wasn't I?
Yep. I just had my earbuds on and not paying attention.
She's listening to her music. Okay. And looks like we've got some debris here with this as well. We'll throw that in the garbage. And we have some really nice pot ash, you might say. And of course in Uganda, I believe, they use the water off this ash. They fill it up with water and boil it or something and make their own caustic soda. But we are not going to guess about how much lye water should be in this soap. We want to have accuracy, and so I'm going to stick with the Central Depot and not guess as to the right amount of potash mixture. And so that's our product so far. Of course, we won't use all of that, I don't think. We'll have some left over. I hope so. Okay, everybody. We've got our goat's milk here, and we've got our lye water. And let's see. Yeah, it called for how much water? It called for 36.1 ounces of water, and so we're doing that half and half in milk, right? Or is this a different recipe? I think this is a different recipe. This is a different recipe, I think. Let's see. Yeah. It calls for, and I'll get these out for you specifically, but it's around 15 and 15. I think we did 15.4 here and just 15 here, or vice versa. And then we put all the lye in half the water, and this is the other half here, this milk, because we're gonna make African black soap goat's milk. I think that sounds fun. Our oil is very tepid to the touch. And we always recommend that you use gloves and apron and protective material. I mean things, mask when you're mixing your lye. And when we're doing this, if you have asthma or breathing issues, and you always wear goggles. You get this in your eye, you got to go to the hospital. I'll get you up here to show you what it looks like. This is a palm oil, coconut oil, and soybean recipe because I wanted to have at least one liquid oil in here. And also it makes better soap than just palm and coconut oil when I'm putting the soap calculator. Alright, so that one's good. It's coming to trace really fast. Look at that. That's that coconut and palm oil for you. And so now let's put the other one in. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm familiar with my crock pot, so I'm putting it up on high. I'm not familiar with this recipe, so I'm going to watch it really close. Alright, so now we're giving the oil and milk time to saponify. I mean the oil and lye water, time to saponify some. And it is definitely thickening up quickly. So we won't have a lot of time because we got to get this milk in here before it goes to gel. Yep. And here, I'll let you see inside. See how we got trace going on here? We got to be careful to get this milk in there before it gets hard. So, but okay, I did not see that my thing was full, and this has came right out of jail like lightning. And is almost ready to be stick blended. And then this one here is just almost out of jail. I didn't even do the tic-tac-toe method. I mean, it's going crazy, coming out of jail almost instantly. Went into jail, come out of jail like overnight. I mean, in a flash, like 5 minutes. And so we gotta let these cook on low, and we gotta put the super fats in here in a minute. But I want to go ahead and put in the powder, so I'm gonna get the powder ready while that's finishing coming out of jail. Okay, I'm really sorry about missing out on the milk, but if you want to see how that I did that, and it came to trace like lightning when I put that milk in there. Now we're going to put 4 ounces of our potash. Let me wipe my hands where you can see. Okay, I got that pretty good in there, and I can do more with a spoon, but I want to get this one in there. Oh. And this is the basic technique with the stick blender that you use to bring the soap back to a soap consistency after it separates like that when you're doing milk. Alright, now let's get our super fats in. I'm going to have to get a spatula. I'm going to have to go for the drawer. Hang on, guys. Meggers just went down to Merle Norman to help her mother pick out her nail color. She's getting a manicure done. Oh, that's her knocking. She's going, oh crap, I can't get in. So, let's push that down in there, and I'll bring you back in just a minute. I gotta let Megger in the building. Alright, I let Meggers back in the building, and I still got it on low, and now we're getting all the oils melted and getting it well incorporated. Put the lid on that. Get this one going. Okay. I'll have to let that melt. Now we'll have to let the super fats melt and get incorporated. And then that's just going to be ready to mold, Meggers.
Really?
And I divided that out into 4, so you can just put those up into 2 plastic bags or 2 containers you can seal and set them on the shelf, whatever works. Alright, so it's had some time to melt. And so we're getting our super fats blended. This is our cocoa butter and our shea butter and our glycerin and vitamin E. And it's incorporating nicely. But we still got some chunks. Bring you up here. See our chunks? And so we'll just continue to let that melt. And we'll have our black African. Hello there, Mr. Wesker. What you doing, boy? Why ain't you in school?
I just got off.
Oh, did you just get out of school?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why, I be dog. We still got a big old chunk in this one too.
Yeah.
So we'll just continue to let that melt and cook, and then we'll mold it up. Are we ready to make lotion and body butter? Alright, she's just waiting on me. We still got a couple little chunks in here. I'm gonna have to take the stick blender to this again. I know, I didn't think I would. Alright. I gave it to her to wash, but I really think it needs stick blending to get all those super fats blended in. It's okay about it being spotless because it's got the same stuff on it. If I turn off the player, they'll get another subliminal message. I can't figure out how to fix that yet. Every time I do upload clips, it pops this message up in between every clip. Watch my commercials and the website where my links are. I got to figure out how to fix it. I get all freaked out in some of those YouTube settings, you know. I'm always afraid I'll accidentally delete my account or something. I'm so cautious about getting in there with those things. See how that's coming back to a soap consistency, guys? Oh yeah, that looks good. This counter is so slick, and those rubber feet on this crock pot, it just slides around. There we go. Now it's ready to go in the mold. get some molds out here. We got the famous Essential Depot mold. Let's get us up. I'd turn it off, but then you'd get another one of them subliminal messages. African black soap. African black soap. It's got burnt plantain skins and plantain leaves and some kind of fun Mexican thing. I got to figure out what it is that made me think strongly of the cocoa nibs that is commonly used in Africa, which I could not get hold of locally. And we're not putting any essential oils in here, and it's a goat's milk soap. That's pretty awesome, ain't it? You gonna try it?
It's Yukon?
Yeah, it's a new soap, brand
Is it for men
spanking.
and women? Or just men?
It's for just anybody.
Okay, I'll try it.
Alright. It's supposed to particularly be good for African American skin.
Ooh, well, I got plenty of them over at my house. Nah.
So you gonna sell it to all your neighbors?
Oh, yes, yes.
Awesome.
I tell them, my mother-in-law makes African American, so.
There you go. Hey, would you go get me one of them TEA spoons? It's them long spoons with a little bitty head on it. Right over there. Meggers will tell you if you got the right one. And of course in Africa, on all the videos I saw, it appeared that they left it quite rustic. TEA spoon. You couldn't find one in the drawer over there? No, a spoon. It's a TEA spoon. They are over there. Megger says they are over here. There it is. A spoon, a long-handled spoon, a TEA spoon. Ha 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 ha. And this soap is going to be, looks like this soap's going to take a while to cure. It's not going to be an overnight cure, that's for sure. And I made the bars big because I didn't put any essential oils in them, and I want to go ahead and charge $5 for them like I do my others. And so I thought, well, if I just go ahead and if I make the recipe big, so you can cut this recipe down if you want to. If you want to scent it, just run it back through the soap calculator and cut everything down. Spoon. Well, we'll see for sure, but it looks like it's going to need a little extra cure time. Sometimes goat's milk soap will fool you, and it don't really. Oh boy, I made a mess. Didn't I make a mess or what? And this soap is hot. So it may be, I'm used to cooling it, you know, before I put it in the mold. And it really would have been good if I'd have let it cool down to like 180 or so. But I'd cook the whole thing on, on low, so I didn't think it was too terribly hot like it would have been if it was a regular soap. We'll see.
You're messy.
I am. I'm messy. I'm throwing soap everywhere. Getting all the air bubbles out.
What are we gonna do with you?
I don't know. Throw me away, I guess.
Oh, that'd be an honor.
There you go. There we go.
That's cool.
African Black American soap.
I'll be selling left and right for you.
African black soap. Maybe that's what they call it. No artificial colors. Woohoo! Flashlights.
No, you remember it? Mm-hmm. What's the lost? Right there.
Oh, you found it. Where'd you find it at? Over there. Well, that looks like some good soap.
Awesome.
We will. Let's test it out with some water and see what happens. Well, we got lots of bubbles. The lather hasn't turned black. Oh, and it feels very, very wonderful to the skin. I think that'd definitely take off any dry skin,
Yeah.
take off the top layer of dead skin in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Woohoo!
That's the kind I need.
There we go. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. We'll cut it. Feel this. I just had to bring y'all back on. Where I wash my skin, it feels awesome.
Let me feel.
Come around on the other side, Meggers. Feel that.
That's nice.
Isn't it smooth and silky?
Ooh.
Yeah, feel this side.
Ooh, now that is nice.
Yeah, that's some nice soap. Woohoo! Hey everybody! I got it sort of turned down here on the table so y'all can see what I'm up to. I had to cut my grandma's old-fashioned lard soap first because once you cut that stuff, it's gonna leave little black pieces and stuff in the cutter, and you'll have to wash it again. And then I don't like to really use it again until it's dried real good. And so I thought, and this grandma's old-fashioned lard lye soap is hard, but it still cuts beautifully with the Essential Depot coater. And whew, I nearly failed it over. Isn't that pretty? It's a really nice white bar. And we'll get those done, and then we'll cut this wonderful soap over here, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to see what happens with this wonderful new soap, African American soap. I mean African black soap. That's it. I wasn't saying it right. I was talking to my friends from Huntsville, and I said, "What's all the huff about this soap?" She says, "It's great for our skin." She said, "It's just awesome." So that made me think, well, I should try to make that and see what that's all about. And she told me about burning things, and I thought, oh, well, that sounds fun. I've never burned anything while making soap, and it was all right. You know, when we burn stuff and we're making soap, we're like, oh, well, that's not gonna work, throw that out. So I got to burn stuff, and it was all right. So let me get this over here out of the way, and then that's Grandma's old-fashioned lard lye soap with nothing else. Just lard, lye, water, and I did put a touch of glycerin in there. Okay, here is our black African soap that we got to burn things, and it was all right. And then we got to put the burn things in the soap. So let's see what this looks like. I mean, it's black. There's no color in it. I suppose it'd be fun to do a regular soap. I heard my door open, but it didn't sound like the door open. Must have been the cat. The cat rung the doorbell. Anyway, isn't it gorgeous? But I was fixing to say, it might be fun to do a cocoa butter and shea butter soap, and then do the black African soap and then swirl them together so you had like the white and the black together. That might be fun. And then possibly not put the shea and the cocoa butter in the black African soap, put it only in the white soap. Ooh, that sounds cool. That's a fun idea. Well, this looks to me like it will not take any longer to cure than any other soap. I forgot when I was putting it in that day, yesterday, that it was really hot. I hadn't let it cool down to 160, so that made it thinner. But this bar is very hard. In the center, it's not smushing, and it should be. So this soap is going to cure very, very fast. Very, very fast. I don't want to sit it on top of white crumbs from Grandma's lard, which is very, very hard. And I did get a few pieces of white from the strings. I should have remembered to wipe those strings down. And I did find out that I found out what that stuff is. You know, the other stuff that I burnt that I didn't know what it was. And it's actually grown in Brazil and in Africa. That particular plant that I use, so it's actually a tropical plant and possibly has been used in black African soap traditionally in regions where that was available, which is totally cool. And it starts with a T, and it has this really long, weird name that I didn't know how to pronounce. And I think it's going to make a wonderful addition to this soap, and it is readily available in my area because of the high concentration of the Spanish population here in my area. So that should make it a wonderful part of my soap. And the whole aspect of this is, from whatever I could tell, is that people regionally use what's readily available in their region to make this soap. And tropical manner, or tropical things, is the highlighted area, it appears. But then this soap is made in possibly tropical areas. So anyway, so I'm really excited about this. And it's cutting beautifully. And it's going to cure out fast, I can tell. It's going to cure out really fast. And let's see if it smells. Let's see if it has any smell. It actually smells like bananas to me. Yeah, it smells like bananas right now. That's what it smells like. It don't even smell like burnt bananas, which is strange because you would thought that it would smell like burnt, bananas, but it don't. It's so weird that it smells like bananas. I mean, but I did use banana leaves. You know, I mean, the plantain is a type of banana. And I used the plantain skins, but still I'm totally mystified that it smells like bananas. And quite strongly like bananas. I made enough of the powder to make 4 batches, or 4 double batches. But I only made 2 batches, and so I put the other away. And I'm so excited I have a goat's milk source now from a healthy goat source. So I'm so excited. And this is goat's milk, of course. This is, you were watching, right? So anyway, so this is goat's milk soap. Goat's milk black African soap. Oh, it's just cutting beautifully. So there it is. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful gray color. And that's what they said. They said people put cocoa powder or activated charcoal in it to make it black, but that the true color of African black soap was gray. And so I wanted to leave mine, of course, as natural to its fact and what it was in. And so I left it its natural color, just the color of the ash. And I also wanted to just mention to you something that you might not have thought of, okay? Now, yes, this is African, and let me show you better. So this is African black soap, and but I just wondered if y'all had thought about the fact that activated food grade charcoal would make a wonderful possible instead of, because it's ash. I mean, that's what that is, and I don't know if ash holds any of the properties that's beneficial from the plant material in which you've used. I mean, if you think about it, if you take plantains and you burn them to ash, do they have any plantain health benefits left? I don't sort of think so. I think we've just got the benefit of ash in this soap, and it's typical in Africa to use, you know, it said the bark of the shade tree, the peelings and the pods and the nibs of the cocoa plant, the leaves of the banana plant, or plantain plant, excuse me, and the plantain skins, but if you're burning all that to the point of ash, I don't know if there's any benefit that a plantain might have to the skin that would still be in here, or the leaf, or anything. I think predominantly, and I may be wrong, but I mean predominantly once you burn something to ash, you're just going to be getting the benefit of ash. And activated food grade charcoal is ash. It says activated charcoal, food grade, draws out infections and impurities from the skin. And I think that's because it's an ash. And so if you want to make a possible, like let's say you can only get the plantains and you can only do the skins, well, you might also add some food grade activated charcoal that you can purchase possibly local. If not, you can purchase it online. And I purchased mine at the Wildwood Country Store in Wildwood, Georgia. And of course it is much blacker, but if you put it in the soap, like in smaller quantities, it turns gray. So how black it would be is another question. But from everything I looked at and the amount of soap I was making, I thought 4 ounces of the ash was sufficient. And then another thing that they were doing, I saw on videos, is they were taking the ash and they were soaking it in oil and then adding it to the soap recipe at the end. But it didn't look like that they were figuring or calculating for that. And I mean, I listened, but you know, a lot of people are not as explanatory as I am, and they're more just showing you what they're doing, telling you what they want to tell you, and their main purpose is for you to buy it from them. And so, but for me, my main purpose is to teach other people how to make this soap so that you can sell it at your local farmer's market and be profitable yourself. And then for those people who do not wish to make soap but wish to find the right place to buy the soap, they often will come to our videos to see how we make things, to see if we're the person that they want to buy soap from. And so I get many comments that because of your videos, I know that you're the person I want to make my soap, so they buy from me. And so, you know, this lady was not trying, and all the other ladies, I didn't see any men, but all the other ladies I saw that were telling about it, they were telling about it for educational purposes, and the ones that were showing me how to do it were more showing me how they do it, but not really being explanatory. So I'm trying to be explanatory here because that's my passion, and I'm sitting here thinking, this is ash. There's no benefit to ash health-wise from the plantains, because we burnt those little things to, I mean, they were crisp. You could take them and just do like this and they just broke up. So this is ash. Food grade activated charcoal is ash. So if you wanted to make this soap, that might be a good option instead of, you know, like if you can't get these kind of materials. But I think it's more fun to do it traditionally, and I think that people who want to buy this would like it done in the traditional way. But, and I hope that I did this as traditional as possible. I didn't have 4 weeks in a place for it to sit out in the sun and slowly dry the peels and whatnot. So I dried them in the oven and then I burnt them in the oven. But, and I didn't use potash for the lye, because I wanted to make sure that I was regulating how much lye went in this soap. That old saying, you know, grandma's old-fashioned lye soap, that'll take the hide right off of you, and it will, because they don't know how much water it really takes to turn that oil into soap and leave a 5 or 10% superfat, and it can be caustic. And then when it comes to the last thing, oh gosh, I lost it. Oh crap, it was a good one too. I wanted to tell you that. Oh, about this oil. And they were soaking the ash in oil. But I couldn't tell anywhere where it appeared that they were taking that oil into account as part of the oil in the soap recipe. So if you decide to use this recipe and you would like to soak your ash in oil to soften it, and in my opinion, even if you soften it, it's going to dry right back out when the soap cures. I don't see the sense in it. But in any case, if that's what you feel like you should do, because many people do that, then I think that you should take some of the cocoa and the shea butter or the whole superfats for the soap and melt them and add the ash to it, and you know, and let it pre-soften for a few hours, you know, before you start making the soap, because this soap makes really fast. We've got super hard oils, and we've got the potash, and then the milk, which adds extra sugar, which causes it to cook faster. I mean, this soap was done like in 45 minutes. It was done. And it smells like bananas. I don't see how it could smell like bananas. It should be smelling like ash. But I guess banana ash smells like banana. So it really smells good. And I hope if you're out there and you're an African American and you've used maybe some black African soap from Africa, and you would be willing to purchase a bar and then tell me what you think. I used to have a place on my website where people could put comments, but I am a victim of cyberbullying at the moment, and they were coming in and writing really horrible things to my customers on my reviews under my products. They were writing how stupid I was, how that they'd like to pull the stitches of my Central Depot, the Central Depot apron that has that name, they'd like to pull the stitches out and cram them down my throat. I had people saying things to my customers, cussing my customers. And so I'm a victim of cyberbullying at the moment. And so I created a website. It's www.soapykiss.com, or is it Soapy Kisses? And then you can also go to www.kimberlymagnetsucks.com. I thought, well, I wanted to buy that website because they bought an Essential Soap Sucks website. And so I thought it was just best for me to go ahead and purchase KimberlyMagnetSucks.com to keep the cyber bullies from buying it. So I bought that, and you can go there, and there's a place in there where you can review my products and you can say what you think about them. I'm going to try to get another blog on my website itself, the product website, so that I can have the ability to monitor reviews. But with that little simple thing that I had down there at the bottom, I had no ability to delete comments or answer comments, and so I'm trying to get a blog on my webpage, and then when somebody comes in and writes those horrible things, I can delete it, and then you can still read all the awesome comments of people that have been helped by my products. And the cyber bullies did not want my customers to see those comments of all those people who had seen my products and bought my products and used my products and had been benefited from my products. And so they wrote so many comments that all those things, all my customers' comments just fell off the page. And so I'm just stuck with the fact that I have cyber bullies that are attacking me right now, but I'm not gonna let that get me down. We're gonna just keep on keeping on and enjoy the benefit of soaping. But if you purchase this soap and you think that it's very authentic, I would love, I'll put a comment post on there about the black African soap, and then you could go in and you could write a comment as to if you think it meets the bar for black African soap, because I would just love to know, and I would love to get your opinion. And I can't do that anymore on my website right now because the cyber bullies come in and they just they write the most horrible things. They say that I'm the most stupid soaper they've ever known. I'm so inept and stupid that I shouldn't be able to walk without crutches, I think one of them said. So I just had to delete all that off my page, all those wonderful customer reviews, because I didn't have a way to delete individual comments off of those reviews. But I'm hoping to try to set up a blog on there now where I'll be able to monitor it and review it and comment back, which would be awesome, because before I could never comment back to my customers and say thank you so much for that review, thank you so much for using my products, and I'm so happy that helped your grandson or whatever. All right, so black African soap, and we have got it done, got it cut. I bet this stuff will be ready to wash in 3 days. And my skin, where I used it right here yesterday, still feels different than this one. So I think it rocks. I think you should give it a whirl. All right, so this will be available on my website. And if you want to give it a whirl, come check it out. Because I'm fixing to go right now and put it on my website, so I know it's going to be there by the time you watch this video. Bye, everybody. Oh, and I'm sorry about the subliminal messages. YouTube is attaching this little clip to the very beginning of every one of my uploads, and then I put the videos together on the YouTube site in the video editor, and so every clip I put in there, it's putting that little tag at the beginning and I haven't figured out how to fix it yet, but I'm gonna try. So I'm sorry that you see thank you for watching my commercials. It helps me out in between every clip and whatnot. But thank you for watching my commercials. It really helps me out. Bye, everybody.